Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, I want to talk about the importance of your stance. Okay, so in the Filipino martial arts, the idea is very similar to boxing, the boxing stance. Okay, so you're going to have one leg to the front and the other to the back. So that's going to be your stance. How much your legs are going to be apart and how much you're going to be turned and things like that. That all changes. That all changes depending on what you're trying to do, the style that you come from, and your own personal preference, okay? But the main idea is you want a solid stance where you're in good balance, good structure, so that from here, from this solid base, you could be throwing your shots, boom, 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 boom. So the person that's throwing their shots, boom, 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 boom. And if the other person is not in a solid stance and they're just throwing punches, boom, 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 like this, okay, the person, 9 times out of 10, the person in the solid stance throwing their shots like this is going to come out on top. And if you don't believe me, please check out YouTube videos, okay, watch Tough Man fights, watch street fights, look at the stance, okay, just from stance alone, you could get a huge advantage. You watch a lot of regular people doing street fighting, even some experienced street fighters, you know, they don't have the discipline to keep the stance, and they start fighting like this, where they're completely off stance, and they want to throw the big haymaker, and that's not as effective if you kept your stance right here. This allows you to continue on your attack, because every time they do one of these, they have to recover from this. They got to recover from that. And that gap right there allows you, if you're in your solid stance, to keep pursuing and relentlessly landing the shots right there, so that you increase more and more your chance to start actually landing your shots. Because it's difficult to actually land your shots on someone that's fighting back, all right? So the stance really helps with that. Also, if you have to defend, you know, you want to be able to defend from here, whether it's shoving the person or shielding up like this, you know, you want to be in a solid stance. If you're not, you're going to be pushed off, and the person can push you and strike you at the same time and shove you, and it's difficult to counterattack from there. If you're from right here, you're defending, but you're also in position to counterattack as well. So the stance is so important. So one way to test your stance, okay, is like I said, one leg goes to the front, the other to the back, and then from there, try some punches, okay? So boom, your hook, your uppercuts, boom, boom, and maybe add some head movement and see if you find yourself a little going off balance and stuff. That means your legs probably need to become a little bit wider, okay? Of course, the wider your legs are, the more base, the more balance you will have, but then that's going to start to kill your mobility. And if you're super high up like this, you'll have better mobility, but now you get hit even a little bit, and now you're going to be moving off like that. So you're not in good base. So, you know, there's that trade-off right there. So play around with that formula, please, and find a good solid stance for yourself. The next thing is, so with a stick, it's the exact same idea. Remember, boxing and Eskrima are, you know, they're like peanut butter and jelly. Okay, so the idea here is from here, when you throw your strikes, boom, when you do your attacks, boom, 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 is to stay in your stance. If you swing big time, now I'm out of my stance. If I do one of these, I'm out of, this is not proper stance, okay? So I want to stay in my stance as much as possible here, okay? When the timing is right, when I see the opportunity, just like when a boxer throws a jab, 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 and then they set up the cross, or then they set up a much, you know, a stronger hit, it's the same idea. So you stay in your stance, boom, and you're throwing your attacks, leg shots, whatever, and then when you see the opportunity, that's when you can come in and go out of stance, okay? And just remember, after you do that, you're going to have to recover. So you probably need to create space, get out of there to recover. Okay, you should know that you're vulnerable after that. So, but to me, it's an amateur who comes in swinging the whole time. What you want to do is you want to save that. Save the big swings for the right time. Don't come right away in there. Don't think that you're Superman, that you're going to just immediately take them out with the first hit. You know, it's much smarter and a safer way to fight if you stay solid with your stance. Keep your stance in check. Have that discipline. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.